Bottle jobs, cowards, time wasters. Not my words, of course, just the views of some after the Tory right marched up the hill and then back down it again over Rwanda, just as Nigel Farage predicted.
Backbenchers have the guts to vote it down. Well, normally they march up to the top of the hill and they march back down again. Most of them are a pretty spineless bunch.
Well, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result, and I think that's what's happening here, isn't it? If you keep playing Bertie big balls and then you don't back it up, you start to lose credibility. We have the Tory right wing, of course, convening the Star Chamber. These intense legal gurus who are going to forensically analyse the Rwanda bill, see if it met their tests. Then they said it didn't meet their tests and the government should pull the bill. They've got to pull it. We can't have this. It'll be held up in the courts. Nobody will go to Rwanda. We won't have a deterrent. Then Rishi Sunak invites them to Downing Street for bacon butties this morning, and all of a sudden the talk of pulling the bill goes away. It evaporated like steam off my urine on a freezing cold day. Then there was a meeting of the 5 families of the right-wing groups. The leader, here he is, Mark Don Francois Leone, the boss of the 5 families. There he is. I mean, he did look like he was revelling in it, didn't he?
I have just chaired a meeting of what you in the media are now referring to as the 5 families in the Wilson room.
Don Francois Leone kept the nation on tenterhooks all day, building the drama, building the tension. The tension had been mounting ever since he made this bold statement yesterday.
So the bill, as drafted, is not really fit for purpose. So the consensus of a meeting of 5 different backbench groups that I've just finished chairing was that the government, rather than plough on regardless, would be better to pull the bill and to come back with a better draft that doesn't have all these holes in it.
Don Francois Leone is about to take the Prime Minister to task on this. He's gonna make him an offer he can't refuse. What are you going to do, Don?
Bulk of us will abstain.
What? Oh, right. You're going to abstain. It's just that you... Oh, right. I just thought you wanted to pull the bill because it's too hard to amend, and now you... It's just we've been going on about this all day, haven't we, Don? You know? And now you're going to abstain, are you? All right, and you'll just accept that he'll make the amendments that you want. Do you think maybe you bottled it a bit, mate? The fact is that a huge amount of stink has been caused today. The government nearly ripped itself apart for nothing, for the tentative support for a bill that won't work on the promise that it will be amended to form a new, better bill that still won't work. The big losers here are the British public. It's you and me. The reason why the Tory right blinked is because it would have brought down Sunak, which will have caused the general election and probably would have seen Labour in Downing Street, which I'm convinced we'll just have to deal with for a few years anyway before maybe a proper Conservative government actually emerges. But just think, 4 years ago today, Boris Johnson won a landslide general election, and now here we are. They're fighting like cats in a sack. They'll get their Christmas break, of course, now, and then there'll be another argument over amendments in January or February or whenever it comes, and we'll be in exactly the same position again with Don Francois Leone threatening to vote against it, the One Nation lot backing it, Labour revelling in the chaos despite not having a plan themselves. We are called Great Britain, all right? The public are great. I think some of our politicians are bloody useless, actually. They are showing utter contempt for the people who pay their wages by stringing us along like this. Sort it out or get lost. Well, to respond to this now, I am rather awkwardly joined by former Environment Secretary Randall Child-Wardner, Conservative MP,